20 jaw-dropping cars from Ralph Lauren's $950 million collection. Somebody walked up to Ralph Lauren and slid $100 million in cold cash across the table for one car. He smiled, said, "No thanks," and walked back to lunch like nothing happened. That car lives inside a private garage worth almost $950 million combined. Today we are counting down 20 jaw-dropping cars from Ralph Lauren's collection, from 20 all the way down to the one nobody can buy. Number 20. 1957 Cadillac Eldorado Biarritz. Want to know what Ralph drives when he just wants to look like a 1950s movie star? This big chrome boat at the front of his garage. Back in 1957, you could buy one new for $7,286. Sounds cheap, right? That was $80,000 in today's money. Cadillac put together only 1,800 of these that year, which is why clean survivors now sell for around $250,000 at top auctions. The shark fin tails alone weigh more than a modern hood. Up front sits a 6.0-liter V8, cranking 325 horses through a hydromatic auto. Right beside this beast sits a half-rotten wood wagon, believe it or not. Number 19. 1948 Ford Woody station wagon. Most billionaires hide their cheap stuff. Ralph parks his wood wagon between a Bugatti and a LaFerrari. On purpose. Why does a guy worth $7 billion want a slow wagon? Pure nostalgia. Ford produced only 8,912 Woodies in 1948, and almost every one rotted into pulp. The side panels were real ash and birch glued onto a steel frame. Rain killed them. Snow finished the job. So how rare are clean originals today? Around $80,000 rare, which is wild for a car topping out at 82 miles per hour. Power comes from a flathead V8 making 100 horses. Up next, the very last Ferrari Enzo himself ever blessed. Number 18. 1991 Ferrari F40. Enzo Ferrari signed off on the F40 with his own hand in 1987. He passed away 1 year later. The F40 was his final goodbye. How do you celebrate hitting 40 years old as a car company? Ferrari built the meanest street car the planet had seen. The body uses carbon fiber, Kevlar, and aluminum, all bonded by hand at Maranello. Curb weight, 2,425 pounds. Behind the seats sits a twin-turbo V8 cranking 478 horses. Top speed, 201 miles per hour, the first street car ever to clear 200. Ferrari planned 400 units. Customers begged so loud the count grew to 1,315 cars by 1992. Coming up. Number 17. 2004 Porsche Carrera GT. Quick warning before we get into this one. The next car has put more pro drivers in the hospital than any street car you can name. How does a road car end up with a real Le Mans race engine inside? Porsche built a 5.7-liter V10 for the 1999 Le Mans program. Volkswagen killed that program before the first lap. Porsche refused to let the engine die, so they shoved it into a road car. The clutch is pure ceramic and grabs the second your foot lifts. Even seasoned racers have spun it right off the line. The V10 makes 612 horses at 8,000 RPM. Porsche only built 1,270 cars total. Bill Gates owned the next one before he could legally drive. Number 16. 1988 Porsche 959 Comfort. Bill Gates ordered one brand new in 1987. The United States said no. He waited 13 years to legally drive it on American roads. How does the richest man on the planet get locked out of a car he already owns? Porsche built the 959 as a Group B rally weapon, and the U.S. Department of Transportation refused to approve it. Bill stored his in a warehouse from 1987 until Congress passed the Show or Display Rule in 1999. Total production, just 337 cars from 1986 to 1989. The twin-turbo flat 6 puts out 444 horses. Top speed, 197 miles per hour. Ralph's example sells for $1.7 million today. The next car bled VW Group $6 million per sale. Number 15. 2006 Bugatti Veyron 6.4. Try selling a car at a $6 million loss. Now do that 450 times in a row. That was the actual VW Group plan. Why would the biggest car company on earth bleed billions on purpose? Pure engineering pride. The Bugatti Veyron packs an 8.0-liter W16 with 4 turbos. Output, 1,001 horses and 922 pound-feet of torque. Top speed, 253 miles per hour, a world record when it dropped in 2005. 0 to 60, 2.46 seconds. The motor needs 10 radiators just to keep itself from melting. VW Group reportedly bled out $6.24 million on every sale. Only 20 people on the planet got the next Lamborghini. Number 14, 2009 Lamborghini Reventón Roadster. That is how many people on planet Earth own one of these. Ralph beat almost every other billionaire to the front of the line. How do you become one of those 20 buyers? Lamborghini handpicks you. The Reventón Roadster was shaped after a Lockheed F-22 Raptor stealth jet, with the angles borrowed from real military aircraft. Underneath sits the same 6.5-liter V12 for the Murcielago LP670-4 Super Veloce, delivering 661 horses. Top speed 205 miles per hour. Lamborghini hand-assembled just 20 Roadsters in 2009. Launch price about $2.1 million. Bidding now pushes near $3 million. Most LaFerraris rolled off the line in red. Ralph picked his blacked out. Number 13, 2015 LaFerrari. Ferrari paints almost every car red. Ralph asked for his blacked out, which barely any other LaFerrari owner dared to do. Why does a black LaFerrari matter so much? Less than 3% of the 499 buyers picked anything other than red, which makes Ralph's a serious standout in collectors' circles. Under the hood sits a 6.3-liter V12 making 789 horses, paired with an electric motor pulled from Ferrari's Formula One program, adding another 161. Total output, 950 horses. 0 to 60, 2.4 seconds. Top speed, 217 miles per hour. Ferrari capped production at 499 coupes. Hollywood lost a young actor to the next car, James Dean. Number 12, 1955 Porsche 550 Spider. James Dean climbed into a brand new silver Porsche on September 30, 1955. He never made it past a junction near Chelan, California. What killed Dean was the same thing that made the 550 Spider special: pure speed in a feather-light shell. Porsche assembled just 90 of these between 1953 and 1956 by hand in Stuttgart. Curb weight, 1,212 pounds, lighter than most modern motorcycles. The Furman 4Cam produces 110 horses. Top speed, 137 miles per hour. The 550 won its class at Le Mans in 1953 and dominated Nuremberg. Real ones now sell between $6 and $8 million. Up ahead, a Mercedes with doors that swing toward the sky. Number 11, 1955 Mercedes-Benz 300 SL Gullwing. Your car opens with side doors. This Mercedes opens with doors that swing straight up. People started calling it Gullwing for that very reason. So why upward doors? Pure necessity. The tube frame chassis blocked normal side openings, so Mercedes engineers flipped the hinges and called it a feature. The 3.0-liter inline-six borrowed mechanical fuel injection from a German Messerschmitt fighter plane, which let it make 215 horses. Top speed, 161 miles per hour. The fastest road car on Earth in 1955. Mercedes completed 1,400 Gullwings between 1954 and 1957. Ralph's example lives part-time at the Boston MFA Museum. A factory fire melted 9 of the next ride overnight. Number 10, 1957 Jaguar XKSS. A single overnight fire wiped out 9 brand new Jaguar XKSS coupes in February 1957. 16 survived. Ralph owns one of those 16. Why does one fire matter so much today? Jaguar walked away from the program afterward, which turned the surviving 16 into instant legends. The plan was to roll out 25 XKSS coupes as road versions of the D-Type Le Mans winner. On February 12, 1957, a fire ripped through the Browns Lane factory in Coventry, taking 9 half-finished cars and all the tooling. The XKSS uses a 3.4-liter inline-six, putting down 250 horses. Steve McQueen owned one, and his now lives at the Peterson Museum in Los Angeles. A blue XKSS sold privately in recent years for over $13 million. Ralph's clean original sells for over $15 million today. Number 9, 1955 Jaguar D-Type. 3 Le Mans wins in 3 years running. From 1955 through 1957, nothing on 4 wheels could touch the D-Type at La Sarthe. Why was Jaguar suddenly so dominant? They engineered the D-Type using actual aircraft technology, which was alien thinking for 1954. The body was a single curved monocoque shell joined to a tube frame front. Basically, aerospace engineering on a race car. The 3.4-liter XK straight six pushed 250 horses, enough to crack 170 miles per hour down the Mulsanne Straight. Total production, just 87 D-Types, including 18 factory works cars. Ralph's example carries documented Le Mans race history from 1957. Cars with proven racing pedigree now start around $20 million at auction. Number 8. 1929 Bentley 4.5-liter blower. W.O. Bentley told his guys to drop this whole project. Tim Birkin built it anyway, and the car became a legend the boss could never undo. Why would a racer defy his own company founder? Power? Pure power. Tim Birkin bolted a giant Amherst Villiers supercharger into the 4.5-liter Bentley engine, pushing output from 110 horses up to 240 horses. The factory delivered only 55 blowers total, including just 5 Birkin team cars made for racing. Ralph owns chassis HR 3976, the fourth and final team car. In 1930, that exact car raced the French Grand Prix with the fenders, lights, and windshield all stripped off. Today it sells for over $5 million. Number 7. 1933 Bugatti Type 59 Grand Prix. Bugatti made 8 cars on wheels held together by piano wire. Sounds like a joke. It is not, and the reason is wild. So why piano wire instead of regular spokes? Because regular spokes kept snapping under race loads. Bugatti's engineers reinforced the wheels with thin steel cables, which is how the Type 59 became the only Grand Prix car using that trick. The 3.3-liter supercharged straight 8 made around 250 horses. Top speed, 150 miles per hour during the 1934 racing season. Bugatti raced these against the feared Mercedes W25 and Auto Union Type C. They took victory at the 1934 Belgian Grand Prix. Number 6. 1938 Alfa Romeo HC 2900 Mil Miglia. Phil Hill had no idea this Alfa could carry him toward the Formula One world title. He was just a young California kid who liked driving fast. How does a kid from Santa Monica end up holding the F1 crown? He learned on cars just like this one. Alfa Romeo finished just 30 of these between 1937 and 1941. The supercharged 2.9-liter 8 delivered 180 horses. Top speed, a wild 140 miles per hour for pre-war machinery. Phil Hill drove Ralph's chassis to victory at the Pebble Beach Road Race. He went on to win the 1961 F1 world title, the first American ever to pull it off. Number 5. 1996 McLaren F1 LM. The Sultan of Brunei tried to grab all 5 of these orange McLarens for himself. He got 3. Ralph took number 5. How does a fashion designer beat the richest royal family on earth? Connections and timing. McLaren built these to celebrate winning the 1995 Le Mans 24 Hours on their first try with the F1 GTR race car, beating works Ferraris and Porsches. The factory hand-built 5 road versions, all painted papaya orange, the color Bruce McLaren raced in during the 60s. The BMW V12 delivers 680 horses. 3 went to the Sultan, McLaren kept 1 for their museum, and Ralph snagged the 5th. Sergio Scaglietti hammered the next Ferrari into shape with his bare hands. Number 4. 1958 Ferrari 250 Testarossa. A guy in Modena named Sergio Scaglietti hammered this Ferrari into shape with his bare hands. Enzo Ferrari himself signed off on the design. How do you build a race car by hand in 1958? You take a 3.0-liter Colombo V12 making 300 horses at 7,500 RPM, drop it into a curved shell shaped on a workshop floor, and pray the welds hold. The Testarossa pontoon got its weird name from those curved front fenders that wrap each wheel like aircraft floats. Ferrari completed only 22 customer cars. These ruled sports car racing in the late 50s, taking Le Mans in 1958, 1960, and 1961. A similar pontoon sold in 2014 for $39.8 million. Number 3. 1962 Ferrari 250 GTO. Ralph paid $600 grand for this Ferrari in the 80s. Today, the same car sells for $70 million. Do that math in your head. How does a single car gain that much value? Pure scarcity plus race history. Ferrari produced just 36 GTOs between 1962 and 1964. And every car not alive calls them the greatest Ferraris of all time. The 3.0-liter Colombo V12 makes 300 horses. Top speed, 174 miles per hour. Every chassis carries documented race history from Le Mans, Sebring, the Targa Florio, and Goodwood. Ralph picked up his in the early 1980s for between $300,000 and $650,000. The same car now trades privately for around $70 million. One sold publicly in 2018 for $48.4 million. Number 2. 1930 Mercedes-Benz SSK Count Trossi. Before Porsche existed as a car brand, a young Ferdinand Porsche drew this Mercedes engine, and only one example wears this body anywhere on Earth. How does a one-of-one car even happen? An Italian racing count walked into a Mercedes dealership in 1933 and asked for something nobody else had. Mercedes-Benz completed fewer than 40 SSK chassis in total. Chassis 36038 is the only one with this custom body. Count Felice Trossi sketched the design himself, and a coach builder named Willie White spent a year shaping it by hand. Under the long hood sits a supercharged 7.1-liter straight six, producing around 225 horses. Ralph won Pebble Beach Best of Show with it in 1993. Value around $45 million today. Number 1. 1938 Bugatti Type 57 SC Atlantic. A buyer reportedly walked up to Ralph with $100 million in cold cash for this car. Ralph smiled, said no thanks, and walked back to lunch. How is one car worth that much money? Pure scarcity. Bugatti only finished 4 Atlantics in total, and just 3 are still around today. Ralph owns chassis 57591, nicknamed the Pope Atlantic after its first owner, British tennis player Richard B. Pope, who took delivery in May 1938. Ralph bought the car in 1988 and handed it to legendary restorer Paul Russell. His team logged 9,600 hours over 2 years, bringing it back to factory shape. The car earned Pebble Beach Best of Show in 1990 and Villa d'Este in 2013, one of the very few cars ever to do both. Ralph still has it parked in Westchester. That wraps Ralph Lauren's $950 million garage. Drop your favorite car in the comments below. For more crazy collections like this, tap the video on your screen now.